In this video, we will cover the individuals executed in the United States during March 2025. We'll explore their crimes, the methods of execution, their final words, and the last meals they requested before facing their fate. Brad Keith Sigmund. Method of execution: firing squad. Brad Sigmund had been in a relationship with Rebecca Barbar for 3 years before she ended things and moved in with her parents in early 2001. Unwilling to let go, Sigmund began stalking her. On the night before the crime, he confided in his friend Eugene Strube about his plan to break into the Lark home, tie up her parents, and force Barber to talk to him. Strube refused to participate, but Sigmund went ahead alone. The next morning, Sigmund broke into the house and brutally attacked David and Gladys Lark with a baseball bat, striking them repeatedly in the head until they died. He then stole David's gun and waited for Barbar. Upon her return, Sigmund forced her into his car at gunpoint, planning to take her to North Carolina. However, she managed to escape despite being fired upon. She survived, leading police to launch a manhunt. Sigmund was captured 11 days later in Tennessee and extradited to South Carolina. In 2002, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. After multiple failed appeals, his execution was scheduled for March 7, 2025. Sigmund chose the firing squad over lethal injection, citing concerns over recent botched executions. His last meal request for 3 buckets of KFC's original recipe to share with fellow inmates was denied. Instead, he received 4 pieces of fried chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes with gravy, biscuits, cheesecake, and sweet tea. During his final moments, Sigmund quoted Bible passages opposing the death penalty and urged his Christian brothers to work towards its abolition. His attorney described the execution as a bloody spectacle. Jessie Hoffman. Method of execution: nitrogen hypoxia. On November 26, 1996, 18-year-old Jessie D. Hoffman Jr. kidnapped 28-year-old Mary Elliott, an advertising executive in New Orleans. After forcing her to withdraw money from an ATM, he took her to a remote location where he assaulted and killed her. He was arrested and later sentenced to death in 1998. After years of appeals, his execution took place on March 18, 2025. Hoffman declined to make a final statement and refused a special last meal. His execution lasted 19 minutes, with witnesses reporting convulsions similar to prior nitrogen hypoxia executions. Aaron Gunches. Method of execution: lethal injection. On November 14, 2002, Aaron Brian Gunches abducted Ted Price in Mesa, Arizona, under the pretense of taking him to a bus station. Instead, he drove him to a desert area and shot him 4 times. After a police chase, he was arrested and later sentenced to death in 2008. Despite legal delays, his execution was carried out on March 19, 2025. Gunches requested a double Western-style burger, spicy gyros, onion rings, and baklava. His execution was carried out without incident, and he was pronounced dead at 10:33 a.m. Edward James. Method of execution: lethal injection. On September 20, 1993, Edward James attacked 9-year-old Toni Nooner and her grandmother Elizabeth Ann Betty Dick in their home, causing their deaths. He fled but was captured weeks later. In 1995, he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to death. His execution was carried out on March 20, 2025. James did not request a last meal and remained silent during his execution. However, years earlier, he had accepted his sentence, stating, "I don't want to die, but I believe it's the right punishment for what I did." Wendell Grissom. Method of execution: lethal injection. In November 2005, Wendell Grissom and an accomplice broke into a home, killing Drew Kopp and Amber Matthews in a violent robbery. After fleeing the scene, they were arrested at a convenience store. Grissom was sentenced to death and executed on March 20, 2025. Grissom's last meal request was not publicly disclosed. Witnesses described his final moments as tense, with visible distress during the lethal injection process. These executions mark a significant chapter in the ongoing debate surrounding the death penalty in the United States. Each case carries its own weight, raising questions about justice, morality, and the legal system's role in determining life and death. What are your thoughts on the use of capital punishment? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content on criminal justice and legal history.